All right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Kohala Yahweh Bashim El Shah, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing his word in sincerity and truth. All right, so I'm gonna start off by reading this real quick. This is Second Ezra's four. I mean Second Ezra's 9:1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, when shalt thou understand? Then shalt thou understand." Shalakia, Shalakia. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. So that's what we're seeing right now. Earthquakes and uproars of the people, and these things were spoken of from the beginning. All right, and these tokens are being shown. All right, they're being made manifest. The end is being made manifest. That's why we are seeing the things that we are seeing now. Now let's take a look at this video.
Third straight weekend. Protest against fuel has morphed into a greater outbreak.
All right. So as you can see, what's going on over there in France. And here's an article from Blacklisted News. It says France, state of insurrection. And let's look up the word insurrection real quick. The word insurrection in the regular dictionary says a violent uprising against an authority or government. So the title of this is France, state of insurrection. Fuel tax riots engulf central Paris. Quick. This is from the Cryptogen. There are many images at Daily Mail. We're gonna go to Daily Mail after that. But it says rioters ran amok across central Paris on Saturday, torching cars and buildings, looting shops, smashing windows, and clashing with police in the worst unrest in more than a decade, posing a dire challenge to Emmanuel Macron's presidency. So Emmanuel Macron, he's the president of France, and basically he's falling right into the prophecy in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. I'm going to get it. It says the authorities were caught off guard by the escalation in violence after 2 weeks of nationwide protests against fuel taxes and living costs, known as the Yellow Vest movement, after fluorescent jackets kept in all vehicles in France. In Paris, police said they had arrested almost 300 people, while 110 were injured, including 20 members of the security force. Police fired stun grenades, tear gas, and water cannons at protesters at the top of the Champs Elysees Boulevard at the Tuileries Garden near the Louvre Museum, and other sites. In some areas, there was virtually no police presence at all, as groups of masked men roamed in the shadows of the fabled capital, capital's fabled landmarks and through its fanciest shopping districts, smashing the windows of designer boutiques. So basically, over there in France, there is an insurrection going on, and we can see you see the pictures. Look, you got Jake. They're burning things. And as I'm reading this, as I'm looking at these pictures, it gives me some scriptures that's popping in my mind. Two in particular. All right, and I'm going to get them through the spirit. But look at these pictures, man. This is what's going on over there in France. You see these police. It's going to come a time where these police are going to be shooting people down. Now you had 110 people injured as of the time that this article was written. This article was just recently written. These are images from I think the UK Daily Mail or something like that. Got protesters just hurling fire, Molotov cocktails. You got the police in riot gear. All right, you got tear gas being thrown everywhere. They said water cannons were being sprayed at the protesters. You got all this trash and debris in the streets. All right, and this is what's coming to the world. Remember what the scriptures say in 2nd Ezra, when else you see earthquakes and uproars of the people. We just had an earthquake recently in Alaska. See, they got riot shields, batons. All right, pretty soon they'll be killing people, and a number of people have already died over here in France in these protests. All right, let me go to real quick. Let me go to the book of 2nd Ezra 15. This is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, and I'm gonna read it from the top real quick, but I'm gonna read it down to about read it down to about I'll read it down. I'm gonna start at 5. I'm gonna read on down a little bit. 2nd Ezra 15 verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." So we're at the end of this thing, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, it's being fulfilled as I speak. It says, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they have profanely committed. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." And those are the Israelites. All right, all the dead Israelites that have been killed by these Edomites. All right, they're in the spirit world, and they're crying unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to avenge their blood, as well as the elect of the nation of Israel. And it says the souls of the just complain continually. That's why brothers put up those videos constantly. Verse 9, it says, "And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them." So the Lord is getting ready to avenge all the innocent blood, all right, that has been shed, all right, by Esau and these other nations upon the children of Israel. Verse 10, it says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt." Now, Egypt is synonymous with bondage. All right, the Israelites are led as a slot, are led as a flock to the slaughter because of this new world order. This is going to be a great slaughter upon the children of Israel. But the Lord said, "I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt," which is bondage. All right. It says, verse 11, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Now that's America. America's the modern day Egypt, and he's getting ready to smite Egypt with plagues as before. But we see what's going on over there overseas is a sign that we're closer and closer. All right, because people are protesting over rising costs like a gas tax, and rising cost of living. and that's going on over there in the Western world, and these politicians have no answers for it. So they're falling into the hands of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with plagues and punishments that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall bring upon it. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right, destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. All right, it says, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another people with swords in their hands. And what you see over there in Paris, all right, is going to lead to civil unrest at a greater scale than what it is. Because right now people are mad because of the burdens of living. All right, and this is going to spread all throughout the Eurozone to America and all throughout the world ultimately. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. All right, is there not an insurrection going on over there in Paris? Okay, so look up the word sedition. Sedition means sedition, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority or the state or the monarch, which people are rebelling over there. And he was heckling Macron, all right, the French prime minister. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of the pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, and these things keep on happening. They're going to be taken to another level, okay, and it's going to happen. All right. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation. All right. It says, let me see where. I skipped down, but this is the point in verse 16 that I wanted to bring in. It says, for this, verse 15, it says, for the sword and their destruction. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and those are your race wars, and with swords in their hands. And then the modern day sword is the gun. All right, so there's going to be shootouts and all types of things that's going to be happening. Verse 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now, the course of their actions, the reason why it's going to stand in their power is because the average citizen has been paying taxes, has been following the laws that Esau set up, but at the end of the day, they're going to find themselves in great straits. All right, that's why they're not going to regard their kings or princes. They're going to be in a desperate situation. All right, because famine and tribulation and all of these things are going to come into the society. All right, and it's already here. All right, we're watching this thing being made manifest. Remember, when thou shalt see earthquakes and uproars of the people, then shalt thou know that the Lord spoke of these things aforetime. Now, another scripture, and I think it's Luke 12 and 51. This is Luke 12 and 49. Luke 12 and 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? So the fire that the Lord is coming to bring is already a kindling fire. All right, it's already a kindling fire. Okay, so you see basically, I shouldn't have X'd out that page, but you see basically what was going on. You see all of those fires being kindled. All of those fires were being kindled. Here's some more footage of what was going over there, but the fire was already being kindled. Look, this guy, and this is what's going to happen. These are the future faces of Americans, man, and it's going to be way worse. Picture these same people. This is over there in France, but it's going to be in English. All right, tear gas, DC, the very places where we prophesy and declare the downfall of America is going to be this future scene of these protests and riots in America, okay, because of the wickedness. Now, I got a few more scriptures that I want to bring out real quick. Go here to James. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl." This is James 5:1. "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days." And how are you trying to heap more treasures together? By oppressing those people with a gas tax. All right, your corporations make billions of dollars in revenue with gas, and you raise the price, or you tax it because you've put your people in a state of slavery, and you just tax them. All right, and basically you're facing blowback from that. All right, it says, "Behold, the hire of your laborers who have reaped down your fields." And these laborers are common citizens, okay? Laborers, a workman, a laborer, usually one who works for hire, especially an agricultural worker, one who does a worker. It says one who does a worker, all right? It says, "Behold, the hire of your laborers who have reaped down your fields." All right, so these people that's protesting, these are the laborers that have reaped down the field, your fields, and you've taxed them, and you've oppressed them. Okay, you've oppressed them, you've taxed them. All right, and you continue to use them as a way to fund your wickedness. Okay, go to war. All right, drop bombs on people, oppress other nations. All right, and then you demand more of them, more and more of them. Now that your society is going down. Let's go to the next scripture. This is let's see. This is Ecclesiasticus in the regular Bible 5:9. It says it says it says, "Moreover, the prophet of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field." So the profit of the earth is for all. Everybody should be taken care of. Everybody should be able to live off the land. But you elites have positioned yourself to be in rulership, and you rule in wickedness, and you don't share. All right, and you oppress and burden the poor. All right. That's why it says, "Behold, the hire of your labors who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud." So you defraud the people to keep the riches, to gain more riches. All right. And this scripture is really speaking about Israelites, because um, it says, "Which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth," not the Lord of the Sabbath, but the Lord of armies. Okay? Yahweh Shem Shah, the Lord of armies, which is going to bring the chariots back. As we read in Luke 12:49, "I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled?" So we're in the midst of a kindling fire right here. And this fire is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. All right. And Yahweh Shah is going to come back, and with the fire already being kindled. All right. It says, verse 5, it says, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the days of the slaughter." And this guy, Macron, which is the French prime minister, he's a lower devil, man. He's not in power. They told him, look, raise up the price. They told him to do this. Esau has a term called order ab chaos. Matter of fact, let's look at it real quick. Uh, all All right, so it says, what does order out of chaos mean? It says the trick of creating chaos and then seizing power under the pretense of putting things back in order is a tried and true method of deception and manipulation. It's the meaning behind the Latino model or ordo ab chaos, meaning order out of chaos. As you can see, stage events, order out of chaos. This is goes back to George Orwell, dealing with George Orwell, a totalitarian type of state to live in, where you have police all over the place dictating and watching what you think, and you can't say certain things. Totalitarian type governments, you know, use this as a way to control their people and gain more power. That's why you have to see more of this in the coming days. It has to bring people in fear, and then the government comes in with the justifications of doing certain things that are not popular amongst the people, but since these things are going on, chaos, people will accept it, and people want to be ruled over by authoritarian government just to have everything go back to normal, to be able to eat. All right, so you're going to see more of this in the coming days. Um, More uproars and earthquakes. All right, but ultimately the elite are going to be taken out of power because they're reaching their point. It's going to come a time where people are not going to have any regards for their leaders, their presidents, all right, their kings, because they're going to be starving, they're going to be suffering. But with that, I just want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers that's pushing the word in sincerity and truth. Till the next episode, Shalom.